jersey was pulled up. Now he's gone to the locker room. So it happened that quick.
Well, we'll get the announcement in about 5 minutes.
Eric Malash with his 3rd of the year for the Penguins. Just to recap, Holzinger and Barahowski on the assist. The goal came at 9:36 of period number 1.
Eric Malash just getting to the cage, driving to the cage, got upended, but still able to get his stick on a puck and forcefully put it behind Garan, who appeared to have had a good shot at catching that with his glove. He carries the trapper on the right hand.
34.1 left in the period.
Now let's look back here at this little altercation. Surrey in the middle of it right here. As he gets wrapped up by Dan Folk. Folk's going to go right for the top of the jersey, try to pull it over his head, and you see the jersey is now off, not tied down. If it was tied down, we may never know. We may never know, and that's the reason right there, Mike. His jersey's loose, his arm is free now, and he can get in some great...
1-0 Sharks over the Panthers after 1 period of hockey. Well, the Sharks glad to get Scott Parker back on the ice. Scott, you pick up an assist, and it was a heck of a setup pass on the Nils Ekman goal.
Oh, by far, Preem's battled hard and went down the corner there and went around the net, and I just tried to read him and go where I figured he'd put it, and just put it right on my tape, and I tried to get the shot off, but luckily it went right to Niels' stick, and you know he'll bury him right there.
Scott, this has been a frustrating stretch for you injury-wise. Are you getting close to being 100%?
Oh, by far. I definitely feel a lot better than I have been in the past, so 100% definite.
And I know you didn't play in the 2 games on the road trip, but you were on the trip. Did you sense some frustration from your teammates playing 2 games that you could have won both games, but you ended up getting just 1 point?
Oh, I don't think we look at it that way. I think we just look at it as like a learning experience. So see what we did good and see what we did bad, and just try to fix it for the future.
All right, Scott, good luck in the second period, all right?
Thank you.
Scott Parker picks up an assist on the Nils.
Pass, all of a sudden, you clear the zone.
So the Flames 0 for 1 on that power play, and now we get a scrap out at center ice.
Yeah, you have Josh Green and Brad Chartrand, who we've talked about him before. He's surprisingly strong. Of course, Josh Green has the size advantage and reach advantage here against Chartrand, but Brad, you see right there the wrestle move? He is extremely strong. That's underrated because he doesn't look like it. He pounds out about 350 on the bench press, so that shows you his upper body strength. Now, keep in mind, Josh Green hit Lubomir Vishnevsky from behind in the Kings game back in Los Angeles between the Flames and the Kings, and maybe this is just something that takes place. It's at the top of the screen, and Chartrand and Green, yeah, wow, they talked before. Because Green took the face-off, and then they kind of moved in, and something was happening there before the puck was aptly dropped because they kind of both switched positions. They knew exactly what was up. It's a good job by Brad Chartrand. You know, we'll have to talk to him after the game whether it goes back. Retribution for the hit against Lubomir Vishnevsky, and that's something Brad Chartrand may have had on his mind. I'm certainly Josh Green was ready. We saw both players were ready. And again, Thursday night. So they have another game before they have their break. And, you know, at this point in the season, everyone is looking forward to that break, just to rejuvenate, to get going. And Sean Donovan, I believe, against Sean Avery, so a couple of Seans going at it. And you can see Donovan goes down on the bottom, and Avery goes down on the top. And Avery does not stop. This one, the second fight in this game so far that happens right after the puck is dropped. So, Bob, you were mentioning it, the Calgary Flames, they feel they had to be ready for this one. Well, they have been ready. Right here, Donovan and Avery just trying to figure out what's going on in the drop of the puck. They turn, and Donovan drops the glove. Sean Avery does too. Both guys square off. You'll get 5 for 5 for fighting. And Sean Avery, again, not the biggest of guys, but when you talk about being game, and you see the punch on the side of the head, then the flip, he goes down on top. Maybe some messages being sent here in the first period back and forth. The Kings have allowed that last goal. That's the one that hurts right now, but you're always in a situation where you're going to be second-guessed. Were you ready mentally to play the game, or were you looking forward to the All-Star break? Still a long, long way to go. You haven't even played 10 minutes yet, but the Flames have that 2-0 lead.
Well, as you mind, throws it left side, knocked away by Hewitt on that shot. Into the corner as going for it is Norton, and here's a penalty to Norton coming up. He threw Kubasov into the boards.
And Christoph Ole was involved right now too, so the tough guys were on the ice for the Flames. It will be a boarding call against Brad Norton. He did hit Kobasu from behind. The Flames had the puck along the boards. Kobasu goes in. You see the push, the shove, no doubt about it, that'll be boarding. Flames lead it 4-2. The penalty box, Brad Norton, the official call is cross-checking. Christoph Oliwa will also go up. We haven't got the official call yet, so it's 4-on-4. I'm sure Oliwa was involved in retaliation. So the initial one against Norton, and now we have a 4-on-4 skating.
11:10 to go in the second period.
Whoa!
Up to center ice, a hard check there on Conroy as he got hit, and now here comes Oliva and Norton again.
We'll see what happens right here. Oliva came over, and he gets the upper hand on the scrap. I don't know if he connected at all. Norton went down. Norton came out of the penalty box and just leveled Conroy. That upset Oliva. And it looks like they're going to call 5 minutes each for fighting. The hit that starts it again is Norton coming out of the penalty box. He surprised Conroy. There's Conroy, there's Norton. And it's a butt check, so it's not an illegal situation. We'll try to take a look to see where Oliwa comes from. There's the hit. Now Oliwa's along the boards. No, you know what? Brad Norton came over just as much as Oliwa. That's a good call by the referee. If Oliwa leaves his position, and of course Oliwa is the enforcer, that's his job, 5 minutes each for fighting. So Kerry Fraser and Jay Shars do a good job right there sorting things out. The Flames wide.
Both teams have one power play goal. Look at Shields. And look at, is that Lilia that fell down?
It's Lilia that brought him right down.
Wow.
And Langkow right in the middle of it, standing in the crease with Steve Shields and Lilia. And Shields turned, or I should say Langkow turned around and made gestures at Shields, and there you have it.
Well, as they sort this one out, we will go to the penalty box by Marcus Nielsen. Not that Nielsen was penalized. The player penalized was Steven Shields. Both Shields and Langkow, 2 each for roughing for this.
Now take a look at what happens. Langkow gets up right there, and I guess he thought that it was probably Shields that pulled him down, but I think it was a stick of Lilia earlier. But anyway, as it turned around, Langkow taking shots at Shields. He's not going to stand that, so they jump on him, he and Lilia. Shields penalized as well as Langkow.
I like that Steve Shields. Feisty guy.
Yeah.
Not going to take any.
But Kelly down to play it. Bird gets their first icing to call, and we got a dust up again as Neal and Parrott now do the dance right in front of the penalty box. Parrott comes in with some nasty hands. Neal tries to get himself back in this one as Parrott comes in with some nasty left hands. Now Neal comes across with a right. Another right, another right. Parrott takes 2 in the head. They square up again and now twist right in front of the penalty box. Neal trying to get a left hand free, does. Parrott gets his free. Comes in with another left hand. They dance around again. Now Parrott gets in 2 late ones. Neal trying to get his right hand free. Parrott keeping the chin down. Comes in with an uppercut. That doesn't land. They continue to wrestle now. Neal trying to get something free. Comes in with a right. Parrott comes back with a left. Comes back with another left. Neal comes over the top of the right. Parrott comes over with a haymaker on top. Feel like Michael Buffer here, for heaven's sakes. That was a pretty good tilt, and I'm not sure who won it. Parrott started good and hard. Neal came back, and both got in their shots and their chances. 4-0 Ottawa leads here in period number 2.
Well, Parrott and Neal dance right at center ice, and it'll start right here if we can stop it there, and away they go. We'll run it again, and a little pushing, a little shoving, and an awful good fight. What a long battle that was.
And with the flu and energy problems that Chris Neal has, I am amazed he stayed in that.
Oh my.
And he took some
one that is grabbed off by Malik and stoked across to Sopel. And we have a scrap developing between Brad May and Sean Brown. Now Sean Brown trying to get his team rallying here. But Brad May, he's been through a lot of these wars. And he's one of those team tough players. He can play as well as fight when he has to. The seconds are in the ring and about for
Hockey game, let the offense worry about itself. And we've got a fight at center ice. Christoph Oliva and Reed Lowe. The 2 heavyweights on these clubs are already at it. We're just 2 minutes and 9 seconds into the game. It's a little dance-a-thon right now. And then Oliva gets a right, an uppercut right into the jaw of Lowe. And now Reed Lowe just holds on. The former Moose Jaw Warrior in the Western League is dancing away for Christoph Oliva. Oliva on the back of the helmet. It's been a very one-sided affair. The Polish Prince laying a beating on Reed Lowe at center ice. Oliva holding back. Lowe is holding on, and the linesman will get in there in a hurry, I think, as Lowe loses his helmet. Now he gets back a couple. Still the dance is on with these heavyweights.
And this is the one without the helmet. You hate to see anybody get slammed into the ice.
Oh, Oliva gets the top of the head of Lowe with that right hand. He's landed 3 solid rights. Lowe gets a couple in on the backside of the helmet of Oliva as they land on each other, but we've had some action, and that will do nothing else. It will get some intensity going in a hurry.
Well, you know these two teams right before the All-Star break need the points. We looked at the standings, and both of them desperate to get those points.
Comes back to the near side.
This is a dominant line, JP, we talked about in the open.
Handzus and, is it Klocek underneath them? It's Savard.
Well, there you go in terms of centerman on centerman.
Savard and Handzus nearly went at it along the near boards, and the last I saw, Klocek was mixing it up with Handzus in front, so I'm not sure where Savard came from, but there's a big mismatch there size-wise. Handzus is 6'5", and Savard listed at 5'10".
And a feisty Mark Savard.
Oh yeah, makes up for that lack of size certainly.
But not in that situation. Here, let's take a look at it. They're all tied up, and this is after just an exhausting shift in your defensive zone by Mark Savard, being worked over by Michael Handzus, and Savard won't let it alone. He comes back at him. Oh, there it is. That's the one. And you can see why Handzus took exception, and you can also see the frustration of Mark Savard.
Sure. Wanted to make something happen. We'll see how they go. Maybe just 5 each. Nothing's posted up on the board yet. Well, now they're putting up 2 each for roughing. Interesting.
Yeah, and Mark Savard still slowed by that knee injury, wearing the brace, doesn't feel comfortable with it, but has to wear it, and they take the good with the bad. The good news is he's back in the lineup. The bad is he doesn't have, or doesn't.
Penalties are over on Savard and Handzus, and they're together coming out of the box.
Yeah.
Quick shot taken wide of Niedermaki, and 2 guys go fly, and Savard and Handzus go at it again.
And Handzus is, as I said, a much bigger man. And Savard is a pest. He's a talented guy, but he can get under the skin. Oh, he's looking about the hair. He's talking about the hair of Handzus. Haven't lost his sense of humor, even though he's down by 3. Mark Savard and Savard, they come out of the box right here and watch him from there. Savard gets tripped up by Serge Aubin. Savard goes right after Michael Handzus, thinking he had a part in it. He really didn't. They'll both get 2 minutes for roughing. And Savard probably took a little bit of extra exception to that because it was on his right knee, and Handzus with the mullet before he went to break.
Too. So 3 guys get roughing. Lassard and Fedoruk.
Yeah, a couple of lefties.
Yes.
A couple of lefties and a couple of guys very game. They don't. This will not be a clutch and grab fall to the ice. These guys will throw.
No, and the linesman will wait wisely before breaking 2 tough guys up that are throwing him right now.
Some nice straight left there by Lassard.
He took a couple there, tries to recover. Oh, he landed 1 there.
Look at these 2 guys. My goodness.
Big story in today's Atlanta Journal-Constitution about the fighter's role.
Lassard's getting, he's getting tuned up. He's giving them 2. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That right there is a hard night's work, folks.
Whew. And Lassard will get to the locker room so they can't see the blood, or in case he missed it. My goodness.
Well, the Thrashers have not given their fans much to cheer about tonight. That's the biggest ovation since the Aubin goal.
And I thought that some of that action might have happened right after that big hit early in the second, Petrovitsky on Ragnarsson. Bob Hartley thought the same thing because he put that 4th line out there, and Lassard, instead of getting into a fight, drew a penalty, so it all looked good.
Yeah.
They didn't score in the power play, turnover shortly thereafter, and things changed, and Bob Hartley made his decision. And right side of your screen, this is a private party only, folks. And they both
throw them.
They both throw. There's no in between. One of the best fights I've ever seen in this league, and I've seen a lot of them. Todd Fedoruk and Jeff Odgers. Fedoruk's first year. And Jeff Odgers cut the youngster wide open, and he said, I just want to thank Mr. Odgers for giving me the chance to go toe-to-toe, because that's the kind of the code of conduct. The old gunslingers don't have to give the young guys a new chance, you know, any life. And Hitchcock knows he's got a good one in Fedoruk when it comes to the punch-ups.
Vote for the scored on the power play. Oh. And now we have a fight right off the face-off, and it's Scott Parker and Andrei Nazarov. A former Shark against a current one. And you had a feeling something like this might be coming after the Sharks get the early lead. Now Nazarov in a bad spot as Parker almost flipped him, but Nazarov using his strength does the flip himself and ends up on top.
And you see with that, it's Scott Parker got Nazarov, as you said, in an awkward position. And Scott Parker showed me this on Shark Fight we had recently, as Andrei Nazarov is cut open pretty good. Let's have one more look at this. Andrei Nazarov's going to go up and get treated right here. These guys are talking. We're going to have to go right here. Bang, they drop. Well, Andrei drops the gloves first. Waits, throws a couple punches, and then Parker is able to get his hands going here right away. And as they keep going right here, Andrei Nazarov gets the hands loose. Parker turns up, and that's the shot, I guess, that cuts open Andrei. Now watch, right here, you see Andrei lift and put Parker down the ice. Scott Parker showed me that very move. He said, you know, when you get hurt in a fight, or else sometimes you can't go on, you're in an awkward position. Your best move is to grab the guy around the pants, lift him up, and drive him down to the ice. That's a fighting technique that a lot of the fighters use.
That's the one I use. Always. When I'm in a scrap, go for the pants.
For the pants, lift and put him down. But Scott Parker with just one left hand was able to cut open Andrei Nazarov, it looks like.
Nazarov gets an extra 2 for the instigator.
Yeah, well, Scott Parker was going to play, and Nazarov dropped the gloves and wrapped his big arms around Scott and said, let's dance.
Hey, thanks, guys. A little update on Andrei Nazarov. He's a cut above the left eye, and it was bleeding pretty good. In fact, he was dripping some blood as he walked by us, and he is expected to get 5 or 6 stitches in that left eye, and I would imagine he will be back, guys.
Just from that left hand of Scott Parker, boom, just the left hand of Scott Parker is what, a short little one at that, but I've been on the brunt of those ones, and they hurt. And Scott Parker's got some power, but I don't understand how you can have both. I just, what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing to me.
It's just
weekend, a lot of people think that's the more fun game to watch.
Vinny Damphou's picked up an assist on that goal, by the way, from Sturm. And that gives him 765 career assists. He is now 11 short of the next man on the list, Jean Rattel.
Here we go again.
We have activity in front of the net.
This could get ugly.
Gloves off.
This could get ugly.
Parker's out there. Now McLaren involved. So is Dimitrakos.
This could get real ugly with the score the way it is.
Nabokov leaves his crease because Boucher, the goalie, was involved. And now the referee pulls the goalie out of all that. And Nabokov will turn away at center ice. Meanwhile, we have got a scrum in front of the Phoenix net. Parker, being restrained by the linesman, wants to get back into the pile. Parker's taken into the penalty box.
That's what you do. You get the main combatant off first, and then your lines are doing a very good job here.
Radovojevic is really snapped.
Oh boy, Kyle McLaren did a good job, because Kyle McLaren, Radovojevic, I think it was, had taken Dimitrakos down without, it was kind of blindsided, but grabbed him without him knowing. And then Kyle McLaren came in and helped out his partner, Nico Dimitrakos, or I should say his teammate. And you had a feeling if things could have got nasty in that situation. I think the referees did an excellent job doing what they could. It's all going to start if Parker goes in, plays his man, just a nice hard play. Here comes Mara, gives him a shot. You're gonna push Scott Parker. Be prepared to dance, because that's what's going to happen. And then watch what happens. Nico gets taken down to the ice. Great job right here, guys. You're going to see Nico Dimitrakos go in. Now Radovojevic is going to grab. Nico got hit with a high stick. Radovojevic comes in and takes Nico down. And Kyle McLaren comes in, grabs Radovojevic, and gets him off of Nico Dimitrakos. And then that's when Boucher jumps in, because there's 2 guys, McLaren and Dimitrakos, on Radovojevic. So
I'm wondering if McLaren may be third man in here.
No, I don't think so. I think if anybody would be Dimitrakos, because he was the first guy to jump in on that, but it was kind of like everybody involved. There's going to be a couple of third mans that are going to be gone.
Dimitrakos is not in the penalty box. McLaren and Parker are.
Dimitrakos went to the dressing room because he got hit with the stick just before that whole scrum started, and he comes back out.
He's coming out now, coming out of the tunnel. There's Nico, and we'll wait for the official announcement.
Apollo again. You had to figure that was probably due to happen, considering the game last night that the Phoenix Coyotes played and the way the score is going right here. Ron Wilson looking and saying he wants to get an explanation of what's going on and who gets what.
We're going to try and pick up the PA announcement of the penalties here.
Number 29, Rocco Radovich, 2 minutes for roughing. San Jose penalties. Number 4, Kyle McLaren, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 27, Scott Parker, 4 minutes for roughing. All penalties at 13-18.
Well, I'm surprised. No major penalties for fighting. Also, no third man in penalties. And Ron Wilson is arguing, why should Parker get the extra 2?
Well, I think that is a very, very curious call.
Paul Mara was in the penalty box. He came out.
But he thought because he was the original combatant with
for his 22nd point of the year, and that's a big goal because it involves a couple of people. Now we got a fight. Grand Pierre and Gauthier have dropped the mitts.
Well, Gauthier was going after Petrovicki, and Grand Pierre came in to protect the smaller player, and Grand Pierre and Denny Gauthier end up going.
They all skate off, I would assume, for 5 minutes each. Lombardi from Clark and Reinprecht at 4:35 has evened this one up at 2. Usually the second periods, as we showed you just seconds ago, the Flames best, and they're off to a better start in this one after a couple of moments that were a little bit dicey.
Well, Denny Gauthier and Petrovicki, after the Petrovicki hit on Commodore, you know that he's a marked man, and there's Gauthier hit on Mark Savard. Petrovicki gets in, and here comes Jean-Luc Grandpierre. Reaches around, grabs Gauthier.
5 minutes each.
The penalty to Igor Ulanov, and now Morrow's dropped his gloves with Exelby, and he's got the right hand going. Now the left hand. Exelby knocks him to his knees and ends up on top.
Now see, Exelby hit him when he's down on the ice. That should be an extra penalty. Jackson is standing right beside the officials. Exelby's a young kid. And now you see Morrow not happy that he was given one while he was lying on the ice, and he still goes after him. Earlier on, Andy Sutton, who's a giant, had Steve Staios pinned up against the boards and wouldn't let him off. It's basically what you're looking at is a frustrated Atlanta Thrashers team. And again, this is the time of the game when a guy like Jason Smith or a guy like George Larac has to make their presence known. Exelby's going to be ejected for hitting Smith when he was down on the ice. They run together right inside the zone. Exelby spears, makes a spearing attempt rather at Ethan Morrow. And as he falls to the ice, he hits him once here, but this is the one that Morrow doesn't like. It's coming up right now. We cut away just a second early, but it happened right there. And Dave Jackson was standing, had a good look at them both. They're both gone out of the game. I don't know if anybody's going to have the extra penalty or not. It looks like Exelby will have an additional 2-minute minor.
Comes with 4:47 to go here in the third period. So Ethan Morrow and Garnett pushing and shoving with Jeff Cowan just a little bit. We may see something develop there. Larac in there to intervene. Now all kinds of things could happen. Lessard going after Larac. Chimera finally ends up with Cowan. Larac jumps in. Lessard's on top of him. Now Sutton will square off with Brewer. Eric Brewer and Andy Sutton. Sutton wanted no part of Larac earlier. He'll take his chances with Eric Brewer.
Not a very courageous move by Andy Sutton. He had his chance to fight George Larac. He's kind of showing what he's made of a little bit here, but Brewer's hanging in pretty well against him.
Sutton, as we mentioned, a big guy, 6'6", 245 pounds. He gets on top of Eric Brewer and holds him there, and Brewer gets up. Now they continue to exchange punches. All kinds of action in front of, in the Atlanta bench. As Bishai finds himself in the Atlanta bench, fighting with Oban. Bishai letting the right hands fly.
And if one of these players touches him, there's going to be a suspension from the bench. Now Conklin's coming out of the net here. He's got his gloves off. Him and Nurminen are going to go.
Wow.
And I don't think Nurminen has a chance.
Ty Conklin and passing Nurminen square off. Bichai still in the Atlanta bench. And now Larac and Lassard start throwing punches.
Those are two heavyweights, Larac and Lassard, going at it here.
Conklin and Nurminen continue to battle. The fans here at Rexall Place on their feet. We have not seen this all season. Conklin has got the shirt of Nurminen over his head, lets the right hand go right in front of the Atlanta bench, and now Smith. Jason Smith battling with Majeski. Majeski ends up on top of Jason Smith. That should do it for that bout, but wow, what a card. You couldn't get any better at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas.
This is going to be a mess for the officials to sort out, as you see Lassard worse for the wear. Conklin and Nurminen always, no matter what people say, there's nobody here that left during what just happened. Nurminen and Conklin very entertaining. What's going to be interesting, Atlanta doesn't have another goaltender. And if Conklin is gone from the game, Nurminen's going to have to be gone as well. But when this ruckus started, Lassard came off the bench on a change and jumped into the fray. So this is going to be a bit of a mess. Magoo's waving the Ryan Smith away. He's got his piece of paper out, and they're going to try and sort this out. I would be rest assured this is going to take some time to sort out with 1:49 left.
Let's go over your career with the Atlanta Thrashers. We've got time now. Wow, have you ever seen anything like Mike Bichai was in the bench fighting Aubin?
I've never seen anything like that. And the other thing is Bichai is not a big guy, but he threw a whole pile of right hands at Aubin. And Mike Bichai's done a lot of things in his 5 games to show he wants to stay. He's created chances, he skated well, he showed a lot of grit getting up off the deck and hanging in there with Aubin.
Here's how it all started.
You see, Chimera and Cowan look like they're going to go. Larac jumps in there to make sure that everything's okay. Majeski runs in there. Now, as everybody comes together, you see Lassard coming off the side of the bench, trying to square up with Larac. It turns into a little bit of a dog pile, and the first guys to square off are Sutton and Brewer out in the middle of the ice. Nurminen lands a right. Conklin comes back, and actually this is a really good fight. Conklin's going to land one here pretty quickly. These two guys are about the same size, they're about the same strength. Nurminen's almost pulled an Ilya Kovalchuk and pulled, as Kovalchuk pulled Comrie's hair last year. Later on, as these two guys are going at it, you're going to see down to the left of your screen, Bichai, I'm trying not to laugh because I've never seen this before. Bichai gets flipped into the bench, and then watch him come out of here like the middleweight champ of the world here. He's going to throw about 4 right hands in a second here. And he's got Aubin on the back. You see, the guys don't really know in the Atlanta bench should they touch him or not. If they do grab him, they're going to get suspended. There's a lot going out on the ice. Now they're telling Pasi Nurminen, they're trying to point him to the dressing room. If Nurminen leaves, I assume Atlanta's got to play the last minute 50 without a goalie.
Byron Defoe left with a groin strain.
Their trainer, Scott Green, used to play goal for us at practice. I don't think he's going to volunteer to go in, though.
As Ray mentioned, 1:49 to go here in the third period. Magoo and Jackson with plenty of work to do to try and sort this one out.
The NHL general managers met for the last couple of days trying to add excitement to the game. I don't know that there's many people here that are not excited about what's going on. And I will say this, not to talk about my career, I've played over 1,200 games in the NHL and I've watched another 1,000. I have never seen a team without a goaltender. So I don't really know what they're going to do here. With 1:50 left, I assume they'll play 6 skaters. But I don't know that there's going to be too many volunteers to throw the pads on.
And there's not going to be much hot water as the parade continues to the dressing room for the Atlanta Thrashers.
Shown for a long time. I didn't think Pasi Nurminen had a chance against Ty Conklin, but he hung in there pretty well.
And Mike Bishai in his 5th game goes at it with Serge Aubin in the bench.
It says when in the NHL rule book, it says should a goalkeeper incur a game misconduct penalty, his place will be taken by a member of his own club, and the player shall be allowed full goalkeeper's equipment. In addition, the goalie should be fined or will be fined $200. So I guess Nurminen gets a $200